Okay, this is the 3.5 mass airflow sensor conversion. I'm using a sensor from a 540i along with some other assorted bits, 21.5 pound injectors, and a custom tune from CA Tune. Here's how I did it.
The first thing I did was remove the battery cables from the battery. Then I went on to removing everything. In my case, I had to cut a bigger hole in the intake shield. Intake shields aren't completely necessary, but since I already had one, I decided to cut a hole in it to make it work with my new system. My 95 M3 has a canister right below the mass airflow sensor, but I was able to use existing bolt holes in hardware to move it down about an inch out of the way. Next thing was fitting up everything for the mass airflow sensor. Go ahead and cut the silicone elbow since it's trimmed to fit. It'll take a little trial and error, but if you cut just a small amount at a time, you'll get everything to fit just the way you want it. My S50 has the same connector for this mass airflow sensor, but if you have a different engine, you may have to rewire this connector in, which I hear isn't too bad. Next thing I did was remove the stock injectors, and then I put these 21.5 pound injectors in. In my case, installing the new tune was as easy as taking a chip out and putting a new one in. Since the 413 ECUs are so cheap, I decided to use a separate one for this tune. The last thing to do is reconnect the battery and start the engine up for a few minutes. Then double check all the parts that you touched to make sure everything stayed tight.
Okay, so that's about it. I'll put the part numbers in the description below. Yours may vary just a little bit, but you can see what I used for my engine configuration. And don't forget to like and comment below.
Ben